Thanks for tolerating another year of Car Talk. Now, our show wouldn't be possible without your local public radio station, but don't hold that against them. They also bring you lots of good shows, and they could use your help before the end of the year. You can find your station at stations.npr.org, and then it'll take you just a minute to contribute a few bucks. Tell them Car Talk sent you, or you're donating despite Car Talk. But thanks. Hello and welcome to Car Talk on National Public Radio with us, Click and Clack, the Tappet Brothers, and we're broadcasting this week from the Holiday Shopping Channel here at Car Talk Plaza.
HSC. I just thought, since holiday shopping season is really upon us now, I thought it would be an appropriate time to make a few gift suggestions. That is, gifts that you can buy for me.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I know you want to get me the best of the Car Talk CD. It's a million seller because you got a million in your cellar, but I don't want that anymore. You could get me the 65 AMC Ambassador convertible that you want sent to the crusher. It's just a suggestion. If you can't find a 65 Ambassador, I'll take a 1940 Buick convertible.
Right, rave on. No, I'll put them both on the list.
Okay.
Rest assured.
Fine.
They'll be in the bottom of the list.
Yeah,
but
I could tell that.
No, and I'm working my way down.
Sure.
Last year I got to that quick dry cement thing.
That was it was certainly
It wasn't
creative gift.
It wasn't designed for hair.
I didn't get two of them. A lot of times you get two things. I didn't get two of them.
Now, I know this is usually the time of the show where you read a letter, but I feel compelled to read just a piece of this letter. It's rather lengthy.
Oh, no. Don't read the whole thing. Come on. Da-da-da-da-da-da, down to the third paragraph.
Well, this is a letter from a gal named Margaret Gibson, who's looking for some piece of Car Talk paraphernalia.
Yeah.
And I'll just read a couple of paragraphs.
Sure.
Which are, I think, rather touching.
Yeah.
Picture, if you will, Christmas morning at the Fitch family home. The family is gathered around the tree, a fire in the fireplace, carols sounding softly in the background, the smell of fresh coffee brewing and Mom's homemade caramel pecan upside-down rolls warming in the oven. The grandchildren's shrieks of delight at Santa's generosity ring through the air, da-da-da-da-da, and she says enough to make the Brady Bunch gag. Suddenly, Pop is handed his Christmas stocking.
Yeah.
All eyes are upon him, anticipating the surprises that await within. He reaches in, and beyond the usual airline bottles of Chivas and orange wool socks and cologne, something else, something different, lies waiting for his discovery. He reaches in. We hold our breath. He gasps, "Oh boy! A genuine cheap plastic piece of junk Car Talk coffee mug." Tears come to his eyes. Yeah. God bless us, everyone, he says.
That's good.
Anyway, if you'd like to talk to us, our number is 888-CAR-TALK. That's 1-888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi there, this is Linda. I'm calling from Ambler, Pennsylvania.
From who?
Ambler, as in one who ambles.
Ambler.
Oh, they used to make Ramblers there.
Do not. They never did.
Where
they never.
Ambler?
You know where Ramblers were made, Linda?
No, I have no idea. Tell me.
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh, of course, everyone knows that. Home of Snap-on Tools.
So what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, why did you call us?
I have a friend who has a car, and he's really casual about the car, and it's making a noise like that when he drives it. And he thinks that at first it kind of concerned him, and then he just started thinking with his wallet and decided it wasn't a problem. And I'm wondering if the wheels are going to fall off and he's going to die on the highway or something.
Well, isn't it interesting that people are willing to put up with noises that, sometimes the noises are horrendous.
Well, it's hard to talk over this noise.
Well,
it's a very weird noise.
When do you hear the noise?
Wait a minute.
Answer all these questions. When do you hear the noise? What was the other question?
Don't know.
When do you hear the noise? What's your relationship to this guy?
He's a friend. He's just a friend.
He's my boyfriend. Okay.
Oh, he's a
You don't
boyfriend.
say that anymore,
Okay, he's a boyfriend,
Yeah.
and you're trying to find out. I see it now. You're trying to find out, does this man have good judgment? A. Is this man a complete cheapskate? B.
Well, yeah, that's fairly
Do
clear.
I want to get any more serious with a man who has no judgment and is a cheapskate?
All right, what kind of a car is this?
Well,
Come on.
it's an Escort station wagon.
All right, so we know he's a cheapskate.
So we know that. That's already a given. Like, what are the conditions under which it occurs?
When the
You're
car
in the
moves.
car with him.
Pardon?
You're in the car with him, and
I'm
he's
in the car.
driving?
When the car rolls, it makes the noise. It has nothing to do with how fast the engine's going. It's just how fast the car is moving.
And make the noise.
Mm.
Oh, so the noise is a continuous. It isn't.
It's a continuous noise, and it gets higher when the car goes faster.
Okay.
It gets higher when the car goes faster.
Is it a high pitch, like, or is it?
It's kind of in between.
It's just what Linda said. It's
But no, it doesn't go roar, roar, roar. It's real steady.
Like a siren, but a low frequency.
right. And if the car is going faster, the sound is higher pitched.
Right.
Oh, so it's.
I like it. I like it.
But
Well, wait a minute. And you said that you don't, that it's not a function of the engine. It depends on how fast you're going. But how do you know that's true? What if you
because
sat...
when he guns the motor, it doesn't make any difference.
When he guns the motor, it does not make this noise.
No, or when he shifts, it doesn't make any difference. It totally depends on how fast you're rolling.
Ah, okay. I like it. I like it.
You
This
like
is
that?
good. This is very good. You have given us excellent information.
You have.
Now,
It's
if only
amazing.
we were able
Well, I
to
thought
somehow.
about this. This isn't something I take lightly.
Right. This isn't. You didn't just. This
Right.
isn't just come off the top of your head.
You
actually.
didn't take it casually like he is taking it. I think
Exactly.
I have my ideas.
I have my ideas too.
I had several ideas. I mean, when you first described the noise, it sounded to me like a bearing in an alternator. However, we know now that that's not true. Because if that were true, when you revved up the engine, it would make the noise whether you were moving or not.
Right.
Since that is true, it brings us to what? What's the only thing that's moving when you're moving?
You got
the
me.
wheels.
The wheels.
The
Well,
wheels.
it's among the many
Yeah.
things that are moving.
But if you exclude all the engine parts, you haven't got much left after engine parts than wheels.
Transmissions, axles, wheel bearings, everything. It's just a few.
Yeah,
other
well,
pieces.
that's what I mean. The things attached to the wheels.
Yeah.
And the things that make noise, my first guess, of course, the simplistic one, would be wheel bearings.
Oh, that sounds kind of expensive.
No, actually, it isn't. Can you tell which quadrant of the car the noise is coming from?
Yeah, top left.
Front. It's in the front end.
It's in the front.
The
Front?
front part.
Driver's side or passenger?
Both.
The middle. I
Middle.
don't know. I can't tell. I don't know. I'll listen for that.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I would certainly. First of all, you
It's
are
a-
absolutely right to
It's
be.
a wheel bearing.
You should not. He should not take it so casually.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right to take it more seriously than he. The fact that he's willing to live with it means that this guy is a risk taker. Does he have some exciting job? Like, is he a parachute jumper? Or
No,
is he an accountant?
He's a pediatrician.
Pediatrician. That's exciting.
Well, there must not be enough excitement in his life, Linda.
Yeah, it
You gotta
sounds
get
like
it where you can.
it sounds like a wheel bearing, and wheel bearings, when they get real bad, can seize up,
Oh,
and
God,
that's
really
not
bad.
good. So he should definitely have someone take a look at it, and they will find it in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, he's obviously too busy to tend to this.
Well, that's very true.
So
Yeah.
you must take care of it.
Oh, right. In his dreams. Yeah.
Well, you
But
might
I'll tell him. I'm really glad I called.
you might
That's good.
suggest to
Yes.
him that it's a wheel bearing and he should get it fixed.
And I'm glad you called too, because
Okay.
he could be running to make a house call. Ha ha ha! House call. But I mean, he might be on vacation and the thing might break. Try that one on him.
Okay.
That'd be even worse.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
That would be
Yeah.
awful.
Tell him to get it fixed right away.
Good thing
Okay.
you called, Linda. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
1-888-CAR-TALK or 1-888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi there. My name's Ed from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Hey, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
How you guys doing?
All right, I'm working on Minneapolis right now. M-I-N-N-I-N-N-O-I-S. Okay. I-S. What's happening, Ed?
Well, you know, guys, I was on my way in, and it was one of those crummy days, you know, where it's throwing up spray,
Yep.
and I ran out of wiper fluid.
Yeah.
Aha.
Bummer.
Okay, well, you know, and so I was peering through the windshield. But anyway, I whipped into the gas station. I hadn't had my latte yet in the morning, and bought a can of wiper fluid and put a whole gallon of wiper fluid in my reservoir tank.
Yeah, for the
Except it was-
radiator.
You're right.
Yes.
How did you guess?
Oh, hence the comment about the latte.
Yeah. Oh
So,
boy.
What I did was, as soon as I got into the store, I pulled off the hose so it wouldn't suck it back in up as it closed, as it cooled.
Cool. Excellent. Good thinking.
But I'm wondering, should I have the radiator flushed and new cooling put in, or
Well, I mean, it
what
probably
do I do?
Was the engine already heated up when you got to the store?
Oh yeah. It was hot when I put the stuff in.
Yeah.
So
So
none of it made its way back into
it never
the
got
radiator.
sucked in. And even if it did, it wouldn't be worth worrying about.
No, because as we know, that stuff is mostly water.
Water.
And alcohol.
It's mostly blue water, and it's a little bit of alcohol, and that's it.
Okay.
But you didn't do any harm to anything. And you could, if you wanted to, you could flush out the cooling system. But I don't think it's necessary because the alcohol will mix in with the ethylene glycol, that 0.5% of alcohol that's in there.
Yeah.
And there's a little soap, I
The
suppose.
soap is the only problem because it might start frothing up. So if you see bubbles coming out of anything,
Right. If your tailpipe starts blowing bubbles, I'd be concerned.
So all I got to do is just somehow suck this stuff.
Well, you
out
can
of
yank that bottle right out. What kind of a car is it?
no, I was
It's
going to.
an 93 Dodge Caravan.
93. I think there are a couple of bolts that hold that in,
Yep.
and you can take those out and take the thing in the house and wash it out and fill it up again. And this time put antifreeze in it.
Well, actually, I was going to suggest a clever repositioning of hoses.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
just
Just leave the stuff right where it is.
See, you would do that.
That's a little bit too much.
Ed, don't listen to him, ever.
No, that thing comes right out. Dump it out.
But don't worry about a thing, Ed.
Okay.
Won't
good
do
enough.
any harm.
Thank you very much, guys.
See you later, Ed.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
1-888-CAR-TALK or 1-888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hey, my name's Joanne. I'm calling from Ketchikan, Alaska.
Hey,
Joanne.
how do you spell Ketchikan?
Ketchikan.
C-H-I-K. Ketchikan.
Just like it sounds.
Yeah, ketchup can.
Ketchup can.
Yeah.
A lot like that.
Now, there are many ways to spell Joanne. How do you spell yours?
Joann.
Joann.
Right,
That,
one
that
word,
is
no
the
E.
that is the second spelling.
Yeah. See, my wife spells it Joanne.
She's a Joanne.
A Joanne?
Yeah.
Joanne. Yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
got Joannes and Joannies.
So you're
Joanne.
plain old Joanne.
Joanne.
Plain old Joanne, right?
Ketchikan, Alaska.
That's right.
So what's up, Joanne?
Well, actually, I'm calling about a water leak.
Uh-huh.
And I have a 1988 Jeep Cherokee that I've had since it was new.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been absolutely plagued with a water leak around somewhere in the back hatch area because what I get is a lot of water that builds up under the plastic mat, the vinyl mat that covers the cargo area.
Yeah.
And when I say plagued, I'm serious because this is a rainforest that I'm living in. They measure the rain here in feet per year, not in inches.
That's good.
You're laughing, right?
No. Well, we're laughing because you live there and we don't.
That's right. I'm just being pleased at someone else's misfortune.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So every time it rains, this thing fills up somehow.
This is the area behind the rear seat that's filling up.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Well, where do you think it's coming in from? I know this is going to be wild and crazy, and it's going to be very hard to believe. But I have a suspicion it may be coming in through the rear door, the
I
rear
had the
hatch.
same idea.
Well, let me tell
This
you.
is just
what we've
so-
done.
Now she's going to tell you the 20 different things that she and the dealer have done.
Well, they didn't do the one thing necessary, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, obviously we haven't done the one thing necessary.
Yeah.
But here's what we've done. We've replaced the rubber weather stripping around the hatch several times.
Several times.
We've sealed around the hinges for, the overhead hinges on the hatchback itself.
Right.
You know those vent-looking like things on the back end of the Jeep on the side?
Yep.
Yeah, we've sealed around there.
What do you mean you sealed around them?
Yeah. We've also sealed the braided cable that extends through that hatch opening.
Braided cable, hatch opening, braided.
There's wiring in it.
The cables
Oh,
that feed the license plate light,
Yeah.
the rear
Yeah.
wiper, the rear window defogger.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jeez.
See, and the
Okay.
embarrassing thing about this is that I own a shop in Ketchikan.
Oh, you own a repair shop?
Yeah,
Oh, that's embarrassing.
isn't it?
It
But,
really
but
is.
happily, we're not a body shop, so I can always plead lack of body shop expertise.
Yeah. All right. You've got a lot of experience with this, so you must know whether or not it leaks even if you don't drive it.
Oh, of course it does.
Well, hold
He's
it now.
right.
Don't coach the audience.
No, he's right. It leaks. It leaks even when you're not driving it, and it leaks especially if it's parked facing downhill.
Facing downhill. Oh.
Like if you park on a hill and you're facing down.
Yeah.
It's coming in through the back door. Here's what you do. Rather than, I wouldn't have replaced the weather strip adhesive right off the bat. I would have bought a roll of duct tape.
Okay.
She knows about duct tape.
Well, no, in the purely scientific sense, I would have taped up the area where the door meets the body. Taped it up nice and tight. You could tape up those hinges and everything and run that duct tape all around as best you can. And then hope for rain, which will come any day. Yeah. And when it does, you will find out, I think, that there's no water inside.
Okay.
I mean, I would do it selectively. I would first put a piece of tape just across the top, see if that works.
Oh, see, I work deselectively. I would have done the whole thing.
And then start ripping off the tape.
There you go, which is the better way to do it. Because it takes less time.
Does it?
Of course. Because if the water is still coming in, then you don't have to bother.
With the rest of the door.
There you go.
I agree. That's good. Very good.
Yeah, and the only other place could be the side windows. Those side windows don't open, though, do they?
No, they don't.
Well,
but that doesn't mean they're not leaking. That's an interesting question. I don't think we've ever checked.
Well, they could be leaking. You can tape those up as well. Buy 2 rolls of duct tape.
Don't buy. She's got a whole shop full of it.
No, she doesn't do body work. Oh, you
No,
you align headlights, though, right?
Yeah, they got to tape up all those dials and gauges when the lights come on.
I got electrical tape.
Electrical tape's not good enough. You need that super sticky duct tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would try that, and at least it'll narrow. It'll tell you where to begin looking. But tape that whole back door and tape nothing else.
Yeah,
because if you take the side windows too, then you won't know which of the three. You want to do one thing at a time.
Okay.
And then if it is the back door, you know that the weather stripping didn't fix it. I mean, maybe that there's something, the door is so far out of alignment that it can't seal. Even with a new weather strip, you need to replace the door.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Good luck, Joanne, and thanks for calling.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Tommy, do you remember last week's quasi-automotive puzzler?
How quasi was it?
Well, very quasi. In fact, I think you felt quasi when you're... Anyway, I'll have the answer in just about a minute.
The radiator leaks and the brakes won't stop. Got a loud knock and the doors won't lock. The hubcaps are missing and the motor is too. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I'd buy a new car, but it'd be just my luck. I'd run out of gas and get run over by a truck.
And even those skeet shooters everywhere yell, pull, and toss their radios into the air when they hear us say it. This is NPR.
Support for the Car Talk podcast and the following message comes from Better World Club, the nation's only eco-friendly auto club. Breaking down is no fun, and it's even less fun when the vultures start circling overhead. Luckily, you can avoid winding up as the main course at the Buzzard Buffet and Bistro. Better World Club offers roadside assistance when you need it. Car Talk fans can score 20% with a top-secret code at betterworldcartalk.com. Hi, we're back listening to Car Talk with us, Click and Clack, the Tappert Brothers. We're here to talk about cars, car repair, and the answer to last week's puzzler. And
What was the question?
Well, I stole this quasi-automotive puzzler from the uncorrected galleys of a puzzle book by Terry Stickles, with a foreword by NPR's own puzzle master, Will Shorts.
Oh, known to his friends as?
Frostya.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. I'll try to make it brief.
I remember it now.
You have been invited to go on a camping trip in the woods with 25 or 30 of your closest friends, and you've rented a cabin. So you pile in your cars. This is the automotive part.
That's right.
Remember?
This
and you
is
drive.
Yeah.
Right? This is
That's what made it.
This was the loophole.
Yeah.
And you drive to the cabin. The next morning, everyone gets up, and it's decided that Cookie is going to make homemade pancakes for everyone, but he needs exactly 2 gallons of water for the recipe. So you are sent to the well to fetch 2 gallons of water, and you've got no measuring device. So you get to the well, and there are 2 containers. One says 13 gallons, and the other says 7 gallons. Using only those 2 containers, how can you measure exactly 2 gallons of water? And you have unlimited water. I mean, you've got a well there, right?
Well, no one else knows that you've got these 2 containers. They're at the well. You just scratch off the thing that says 7 gallons. You write on it 2 gallons, and you fill it to the top.
I like it.
I mean,
Wow.
how's he gonna know? Yeah.
Well, here's how I would do it.
Yeah.
You take the 7-gallon container
Yeah.
and you fill it up and you pour the contents of it into the 13-gallon. And
Yeah.
then you do that again.
Sure.
And when you do
It's
that,
not all gonna fit.
it's not all going to fit. You'll have filled the 13-gallon container, and you will have 1 gallon left over in the 7-gallon container.
Right.
You put that aside, as they say in cooking, reserve.
Reserve.
You pour out the 13-gallon container, or better than that, you pour it back into the well.
Pour it back into the well. Yeah.
Right?
Conserve.
So now you have
resources.
1 gallon in the 7-gallon container, and the 13-gallon container is empty.
Mm-hmm.
You then take that 1 gallon and you pour it into the 13-gallon container,
Got it? Yeah.
leaving room for 12 more gallons.
Right.
You then fill the 7-gallon container again and pour the entire 7 gallons into the 13.
Now you're up to 8.
Now you're up to 8 gallons. And you say, 8? How many? Room for how many more? 5. You then fill the 7-gallon container a third or fifth or ninth time, whatever it takes. And
Pour it
you
in.
pour all but 2 gallons in, because 5 from 7 is 2. There's only room for 5 in the 13-gallon
you'll have
container.
2 gallons
You'll
left.
have 2 gallons left, and if you don't trip and fall on the way back to the cabin,
You'll have exactly 2
they'll be
gallons.
able to make the pancakes. And who's our winner,
Wow,
Tommy?
That's good. The winner is Boardman Lloyd. Yes, Boardman is his first name. In fact, he signed his postcard Boardy. And he's from our very own fair city, Cambridge, Massachusetts.
No kidding.
Yeah. And for having his answer selected at random from among all the correct answers, Boardy is going to get a $25 gift certificate to the Car Talk Shameless Commerce Division. Perhaps he could use it to get a copy of our CD, Car Talk Cartoons Volume 1. It's the compendium of disrespectful car songs, the perfect gift for the person in your life who has everything.
Well, everything but taste, that is.
That's right. Actually, it's quite good, and I have a copy of it myself. I didn't pay for it.
Yeah? Well, what's your favorite song on the album?
My favorite song is They're All Jerks. I know she's singing about drivers, but I play it when I open our threatening letters from lawyers, and I sing, They're All Jerks.
Anyway, we will have a new long-winded,
Oh, I love those.
intriguing,
Well, the long-winded ones are good because they allow for a lot of obfuscation.
and out-and-out lying.
Oh, great.
Anyway, that puzzle will be coming up in the third half of today's show, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, you can call us and ask us questions about your car at 1-888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
This is Kathy
With a C or with a K?
with a K.
I already wrote it down as a K.
And
well,
you must
good
be
for
from
you.
You must be west of the Mississippi, like Pittsburgh or Cleveland.
Pittsburgh is west of the Mississippi.
Well, it is on
Isn't?
our map.
They moved it
No? Where are you from?
near Philadelphia, a suburb of Philadelphia called
Oh.
Abington.
Oh, that's east of the Mississippi.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, there goes that theory.
And
Anyway,
that's with a
what's
K.
up, Kathy?
What's up? I have a 1983 Mercedes, and it's a really nice car, and I like it, except we can't see out the windows when we drive if it's raining.
What kind of Mercedes is it?
300D.
300D. Somehow I knew it was going to be a D word. The D word.
Well, actually, the car is great. It's the windshield wipers that don't work right.
Yeah. What do they
And
do?
What do? They go back and forth, but they streak and they leave blobs of water or snow or whatever on the windows, and we're forced to stick our heads out the window so we can see where we're going.
That's a tough way to drive. That's a tough way to
I have
drive.
2 children, so, one sits on one side, one sits on the other, and they tell me whether I can turn or stop.
Oh, like spotters.
They do that like on the big barges that go down the Amazon River, right? Someone stands up front and says, left, watch out for the
Alligators!
rocks." Well, that's
But
good.
someday they're going to grow up and move away, and I'll be forced to drive alone. So,
Yeah.
Well, what have you done to remedy this seemingly simple situation?
Yes,
Have you bought new wiper blades?
many, many times.
And does it ever make any improvement?
No,
None whatsoever.
Have you
absolutely not.
have
Okay.
you ever replaced the arms?
Yes.
You have?
Oh, that
And
was
it
a
didn't
bad
make
answer.
any difference. The original blades that were put on in the factory worked great. But, they wore out after a while.
As they would, certainly.
Yes.
Sure.
And so we had to replace them. And ever since then, we have one place on the driver's side that it skips, and you sort of have to peer around it.
I know what it is.
Okay.
I know what it is. The windshield is no longer flat. You have to have the windshield ground down. You must have low spots on the windshield.
Maybe if they just,
Do you think I could get it with my prescription?
No, I would just heat it up. Put a blowtorch on it, and it'll get the glass molten, and then it will flow out. You're going to have to tip the car up a little bit. Then it will flow out flat.
Okay.
So, anything else we can help you with, Kath?
No.
Well, that's great, because we're no help whatsoever
Well,
on
if
this
you,
one.
I mean, if you have in fact replaced the blades, and have you bought the blades from a Mercedes dealer?
Yep.
And the arms, too?
And the arms.
Too.
So if you've done both of those things from the dealer, then that would have to mean that it's not either of those.
Good. That's
Right?
good. That's scientific, I'd
Very
say.
good. And I would have to go with my brother that it's the windshield.
Well, no, I don't
The
think it's...
windshield replaced.
Or it's the motor.
Well, I think it has to do more with the pivots. The motor is attached to a thing called a wiper transmission, and there are pivots that come through the cowling in the car, and the pivots have to be fixed, and yet they have to, obviously, as their name implies, pivot back and forth. If, however, the pivots are pitching when the wipers are on, what it's doing is it's bending the metal of the cowling, and it's not it's not maintaining the right geometry between the blade and the window. In other words, it's not maintaining a parallel travel between the wiper blade and the window. So that's why it isn't touching in all places.
Excellent.
Well, you need to take it to somebody who can really study the geometry here. Is this non-Euclidean geometry? What kind of geometry is this?
I believe this is Mercedian geometry.
Yeah, my guess is something is wrong with the pivots, or maybe with the whole wiper transmission. But I would guess the pivots are no longer at the correct angle.
I like that.
Something has happened. What's your other car, Kathy?
A Toyota.
How's the windshield on that?
Great.
Perfect.
Oh, drive the Toyota and let someone else drive this heat.
That's right.
You know, I would have to agree with my brother that it's probably the motor mounts could be loose. The motor the mounts that hold the electric motor for the windshield wipers. The transmission could have gotten bent or lost its flexibility somehow. I would go for that.
Okay.
I agree.
Drive the Toyota, Kathy. See you later.
Thank you so much, fellas.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, before we take a call, I just have to read up a piece of a letter.
Go ahead.
He says, Mark, who is this? Mark Gunn from San Antonio, Texas. A few weeks ago, you both talked about how to drive over a speed bump found in so many parking lots nowadays. You remember that? We discussed
I don't
a few
know,
weeks,
but go
months,
ahead.
or years ago. I did what one of you anyway, suggested, and put the pedal to the metal.
That was not
to get
me.
it over with
Or
as
I.
soon as possible. That is what took me so long to write to you. Having
had
just
a
come out of the
concussion.
resulting coma, the manager of the local AMP supermarket would like me to remove my 88 Chevy Celebrity, gold with black bottom panels, from his produce stand, aisle 6B next to the baby food. Question, should I again floor the accelerator, this time in reverse in order to reverse the damage, or should I cut off the roof and turn it into a salad bar? I and the AMP lawyers are eagerly awaiting your answer, and approximately $147,247.95 in small unmarked bills. I remain smashingly yours, Mark Gunn. We'll submit that to our law firm.
That's good.
1-888-CAR TALK or 1-888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
This is Steve from Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have an 81 Toyota truck. The problem I'm having is, well, let me tell you the symptom first. I'll be running along. It'll be running fine, and all of a sudden, it'll start running real rough. I might be going 60 miles an hour, and it'll just kind of buck, and jump around like it wants to die on me, but it's in gear, I'm rolling. It's not going to do anything like that. But if I come to a stop sign, I have to keep my foot on the accelerator or it'll die, and it runs real rough when I'm doing that. Maybe 10 minutes later, it'll quit, just like that.
What do you mean by quit?
Well, it'll quit having this problem.
Yeah.
It's an intermittent problem.
And it gets better.
It gets better. Now, the timing of this problem is that if the truck has been sitting there for a week or two because I think I'm going to fix it, and I'm looking for a problem, and I think I fixed it, and I start it back up and drive it to work for 3 or 4 days, it'll run fine for 3 or 4 days, and then slowly this intermittent problem will start coming up. And then a week later, I can't start it and run it for 5 minutes without this running real rough, this wanting to die at the stoplights, this bucking on the highway taking place.
So the more miles you put on it, the worse the problem gets. And when you let it sit, it goes away?
That's right. And another clue is that in real cold weather, it seems to not happen quite as quickly. It seems to happen more when it's warm.
Better.
So I'm thinking maybe vacuum leak. And I have a whole list of things here that I have done to try to troubleshoot this problem.
But I mean, when you say you let it sit for 3 or 4 days, and then you get in it and you drive, do you drive the same place all the time, more or less?
Mm-hmm.
And it will be fine for a while, and then it gets worse?
Yeah, this problem will come and go more and more often until you. And I'll tell you another thing. When the engine is cold, it starts up first time every time, whether it's acting up or not. And when the engine is cold, like first thing in the morning, I'm going to work, it'll run fine. I'll go to work. I may not have a problem at all. But then an hour later, when I jump in my truck to drive over to another office or somewhere to take care of business, it may start acting up. It seems to, sometimes like it'll run great, I'll pull in to a quick trip or whatever, turn the engine off, and I can turn it right back on, and the problem's there.
Wow.
You're done for, Steve.
It's driving me crazy. This has become personal with me.
Yeah.
If I knew I was going to get rid of this truck in 2 weeks, I want to find out what is screwing this up because it's really
Yeah, I understand. Things like that can make you crazy.
Yes.
Everything else about the truck is perfect. I think it would drive for 5 more years. I have 150,000 miles on it.
Oh, it'll definitely go for 5 more years if you don't
And
drive.
I love this truck.
All right, genius. What is it? I have to admit, I'm man enough to say, I have no idea.
He says this to every caller.
What is it? You got a theory for this? He's got that stupid look on his
Talking to me?
He's got that stupid look that he gets when he has no idea what he's talking about.
All right,
now if he says trust me on this, don't believe a word he says. Okay, yeah. What is it?
I have to ask a few hundred questions
Yeah,
first.
okay, go ahead.
Have you noticed that this is more apt to happen if the tank? No kidding. If the tank is less than half full?
No, I don't think that's a correlation.
All right.
Oh, okay. I thought of that, and I excluded that because that was so remote.
Okay, so that rules out a whole
that
host.
rules out all the gasoline-related ideas you had.
No,
Yeah.
I really don't believe that's it.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
believe
not.
you have a faulty ignition coil.
Seriously?
Oh.
And I know you haven't replaced that yet.
I have not.
I knew that.
I don't want to interfere here and ask any embarrassing questions.
Okay,
But
well, ask him.
I will ask, my dear brother, why, pray tell, does 3 or 4 days of sitting make the coil get better?
That was the only thing I couldn't explain, and I was hoping that nobody asked.
Nobody
Well,
would ask.
all right, then I have another
All right.
possibility.
Okay, that takes care of that one. I thought of that too, but I couldn't explain it. So
Well-
I was man enough. I repeat, I was man enough to say I have no idea.
Well, I have a fallback position.
Fallback position. What is it?
A sticking EGR valve.
Wrong. I changed it.
He
Let me
changed
tell
it.
you why I changed it. I took it to the experts, the Toyota shop,
Yeah.
and they had it for 3 weeks, and they got it to act up, and they said, change your EGR valve. And I said, well, why? They said, well, we couldn't figure out what happened, so we hit it with a hammer, and the engine started running good.
Yeah.
So I looked because I didn't believe them, and I saw the scratch mark where the hammer hit it. Lord knows only what else they shook loose to make it run right.
Well, you got to admit, Steve.
$150 for this valve.
You got to admit, here we are. I mean, 1,500 miles apart. We've never met. I've never seen your truck, and I came up with the same answer.
That they had a hammer helping them with.
And that was even my second answer.
That's right. No, that is good. I will
So
admit.
you replace the ignition coil, and it's going to be fixed.
Gee, if it were fixed, you still wouldn't know what was going on, but at least it would be fixed.
Well, that's all I care about.
Well, it's
I mean,
cheap
the coil
enough.
is only $30 or $40.
And if it does work, then we will put our full efforts on figuring out a reason why 3 or 4 days of rest made it work better.
The 3 or 4, that's a red herring.
Well, see, without that piece of evidence, the coil is an excellent answer.
Yes, and that's why when you can't make all the pieces fit,
Throw one away.
throw one away. Exactly. You've got it.
I'd love to see you doing crossword puzzles. Not crossword puzzles, real puzzles.
Oh,
Hey, Steve, I would say take his advice, wacko as it may sound, and boy, it might work. If it does,
Steve, you're going to hang a picture of me on your house.
yeah.
Well, look, I want to tell you guys that I really think you guys are kind of the Barnum and Bailey of the automotive troubleshooting world.
Yeah, I just referred to my brother only recently as the P.T. Barnum of Radiodom.
Right.
Right.
We're going to open a new Dingaling Brothers Circus. We're going to see you later, Steve.
Good luck, Steve.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You know, Tommy, in the spirit of the holidays, maybe we should try to give our listeners what they really, really want.
Yeah, more of the show, you mean?
No, more breaks from it.
Done. We'll be back with a brand new puzzler and more of your calls in just a minute.
How and why did you steal a 12-year-old Century? 2 bald tires in the middle of the night. And who taught you the fine arts of lock picking and hot wiring? Why don't you stop by for coffee and tell me how you pulled it off sometime? Well, I ain't taking my baby before it took the door and think you stashed the place and sell it for a fine. You like the tune and you don't want the tape deck. You did your so wait for inspection.
And even though Goldilocks wonders who's been messing with her radio's presets whenever she hears us say it, this is NPR.
5, 4,
Space.
3.
It used to be the playground of governments, but now rockets and satellites are becoming so small, so cheap, that even a podcast can do it.
We have ignition.
I'm Robert Smith, and starting November 29th, the Planet Money team launches their very own satellite into the cosmos. Listen on NPR One or that app you're using right now.
Copy that, Ops 1.
Ha! We're back. You're listening to Car Talk with us, Click and Clack, the Tappet Brothers, and we're here to discuss cars, car repair, and the new puzzler. And as promised,
Oh, yeah, long-winded,
well,
obfuscated.
I'll try to make it
Lied.
as short and sweet as possible.
Okay, man. Yeah, go ahead.
We have a friend, Tommy and I, who shall remain nameless, who works in a government facility and does very important work.
Yes.
Very important work.
Yes.
And one day he's at his desk, working away, reading some very technical manual.
You call that work, reading a technical manual.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
When he's awakened, startled by the sound of his stomach growling.
Yeah.
He turns in his seat and looks at the electric clock on the wall behind him. This is one of these clocks that's been there for like 1,000 years, plugs into the wall.
Big analog round thing.
Big, right. Big,
Says IBM on it.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Simplex. Or who made all those clocks?
IBM.
IBM made all those clocks.
I don't know.
They made a lot of them. He looks at the clock, and as he turns back to his work, he says, well, it's obviously too early to eat lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I must have forgotten to eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
He begins to work. A short time later, he's again awake, startled by the growling of his stomach, and this time he turns to look at the clock another time. You with me so far?
I love it so far.
Well, see if you love it in the morning.
Yeah.
He looks at the clock another time.
Yeah.
And he notices that it, first of all, says a time later than what it did the first time he looked at it.
The arrow of time.
Right?
Yeah.
The march of time. The second hand is sweeping. The hour hand is moved from where it was the last time he looked at it. And the minute hand is in a different position.
Mm-hmm.
And as he turns back to his desk, again thinking that he must have forgotten to eat breakfast and he doesn't know how he's going to make it till lunchtime, his stomach growls a third time, and he says, the clock is broken. And yet everything seemed to be working.
Yeah.
As I had mentioned, the hands are moving.
Yeah.
Now, I may have to give a hint. The question is, how did he know the clock was broken? That's the question.
Well, the minute hand, the second hand, and the hour hand have all moved, you said.
Yeah.
But probably not in the right relationship.
Ah! The two hands are exactly 180 degrees apart, like they would be at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hint I was going to give.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you think you know the answer, write that answer on the back of a $20 bill or a can of anchovies.
Opened or closed?
Either. And send it to Puzzler Tower, Car Talk Plaza, Box 3500, Harvard Square, Cambridge.
Our Fair City.
Matt 02238. Or you can email your answer from cartalk.com. If you'd like to call us, the number is 1-888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Biju Rao from Williamstown, Massachusetts.
Oh, say it again.
Biju Rao from Williamstown, Massachusetts.
Biju
Biju,
Rao.
that's right.
B-I-J-U?
B-I-J-U, absolutely right.
R-A-O?
That's right.
Biju Rao.
And where are you from?
From
India.
Williamstown, Massachusetts.
Williamstown.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, you born there?
Oh, no, I was born in India.
Biju Rao. I love Indian
That's
names.
almost as good as Arup Gupta.
Almost.
Almost.
Where is Arup? We have lost contact with Arup.
Well, the last we heard, Arup was sailing across the Atlantic in his Suzuki Samurai. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So, Biju Rao, what's up?
Well, I have this serious problem. I fall asleep at 10 o'clock every night, precisely at 10 o'clock. And even when I'm on the road, I fall asleep at 10 o'clock at night. And it's a problem.
It is. It certainly could be a problem, depending on what you happen to be doing at 10 o'clock.
Well, if I'm driving...
Yeah, then it becomes a problem.
That's right.
Well, it is a problem unless you plan ahead. For example, I would make sure that if you're going to leave the house at 9:30, you put your jammies on. So if you do fall asleep...
Yeah.
You know.
When they find you, you'll have your jammies on. So, I mean, you just need an alarm clock. I mean, a watch with an alarm. So at 9:45, it lets you know that you've got 15 minutes to lie down.
What I usually try to do is to smoke 2 strong cigars and 2 strong cups of coffee.
Ah, then does that help?
That helps for a bit, but then after 20 minutes, I fall asleep again.
How long have you had this problem? And in fact, well, actually, I don't consider it a problem.
It might be a blessing.
Maybe, yeah. I wake up at 5:30 every morning, so.
I mean,
that's your problem.
See, I would like to have this problem. If I knew that no matter what, I would go to sleep at 10 o'clock, then you could always, if you're going somewhere on a plane, you could always arrange to take 9 o'clock flights. So that you'd get in, sit down, have a little snack, and bingo.
That's actually what I do, yeah.
You do? I'd love to have this.
Yeah. I have a similar problem, except that the time is not the 10 o'clock. It's a sofa. if I find myself in the proximity of an occupied sofa, I lie down and I'm out within a matter of maybe 45, 50 seconds. You know, it's a really a wonderful thing.
But I don't know why the car seat allows me to sleep. I mean, I only started driving a year ago, and maybe that's it. That's what it was. I've always used to sit in the back seat and just fall asleep when people drove me.
Ah, of course. This is a case of conditioning.
Maybe.
Right.
Somehow.
It's carryover from your childhood.
That's probably.
Yeah. I mean, do you have a real question, Biju?
That's my question.
That's it. Oh, that's it.
No,
I don't think it's a problem because you can plan on it.
Okay.
You can use it to your advantage, as you've discovered on airplanes.
What kind of a car do you have?
A Honda Civic 94.
Okay. Well, there are a couple of ideas. You could certainly trade that thing in.
Okay.
And get something with a much bumpier ride.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Which would keep you awake. Or you could merely put like 75, 80 pounds of air in the tires. And you'd be bouncing down the road, and you'd never fall asleep.
Then you'd have bladder problems of bouncing around.
Well, that would also keep you awake.
That would keep you awake? Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Is there any way of making my car louder? Is there any way of doing that?
Sure. You got a screwdriver?
Sure.
A hammer?
Yeah.
Crawl underneath.
Okay.
Punch 3 or 4 holes in the muffler.
And that'll do the job.
Oh, that's it.
And punch a few in the gas tank while you're underneath.
Yeah, and the oil pan is nice, too.
No, actually, I remember my brother-in-law used to drive all the time. My brother-in-law was one of New York City's finest.
Yeah.
And he used to drive at the end of his shift, whenever that was, to his cabin in upstate New York, in Unadilla. And frequently, he would do this after working a double shift.
Wow.
And he would find himself nodding off at the wheel. How do I know this? I was with him many times. When I'd be talking to him, and I wouldn't be getting any answers, and he'd have his chin down on his chest, but the car would still be going at 70 miles an hour. And we bought for him a little device that clips around your ear.
Yes, we bought one for Tony Hatun, who has the same little problem.
Yes.
And what does this device do?
And when your head begins to dip, when it goes off level, it sounds an alarm, which wakes you up.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
It is really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it bothered him so much that he put it in the glove box. He never used it.
Kept him awake, he said.
But you may need one of those. Biju.
Oh, but where do I get one of these things?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I was in a catalog.
Yeah, it was in
I'm sure someone will tell us.
Oh.
And when we find out, we'll email you.
Yeah, what usually happens like this, when we mention a product like this on the air, the manufacturer sends us a couple.
Oh, wow.
So we get your address, we'll send you one.
Oh, thank you very much.
See you later.
It is actually
Bye-bye.
a great little device. I think it actually worked.
Well, it did. It did.
But you notice that Claude doesn't use his anymore, and Tony doesn't use his either.
No.
So there's something wrong there.
No.
I don't know what it is.
I tell you, it was bothering
Keeps you
them. It
awake.
was keeping them awake. 1-888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Suzy in Carlsbad, California.
With a Z or an S?
It's a Z.
S-U-Z-Y?
Yeah, that's it.
Carlsbad, California.
And, well, I'm about to go on the adventure of a lifetime.
Really?
No kidding. You
Yeah.
getting married?
No. I'm going to drive a Volkswagen Vanagon from the...
You don't have to tell us where you're going to drive it. That's already the adventure of a lifetime.
Well, from the west coast to the east coast of Mexico. I'm going to end up in Tulum.
Tulum is where the Mayan ruins are.
Exactly. An incredible blue
Yes,
water.
and the Volkswagen ruins will probably be there, too, in a few weeks.
Yeah, you can park right next to the Mayan ruins. Maybe make a few bucks from the tourists. Want to see a Vanagon? Hey, want to see pictures of my Vanagon? Okay.
So you're driving from the west coast of Mexico.
Right.
Which is close.
Puerto Vallarta.
Well, actually, I'm gonna pick up my dad in Texas and then head down to the Gulf of Mexico.
So where is he in Texas?
He's in Dallas.
He's in
you got
Dallas.
Serious driving ahead of you.
So you're gonna drive.
Yeah.
You're gonna enter Mexico in like Matamoros or someplace
Right.
like that.
Yeah, that's our plan right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Can you send me a couple of sarapes? And then you're gonna drive to the ruins.
Right. But I want to take, the appropriate supplies and then also know, what might I have to do to my car. And so right now I'm going to take like a small fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
And, an extra battery, jumper cables, pliers, cutters,
Yeah.
rope for towing, a full-service tire, 5 to 6 quarts of oil, a filter,
Yeah.
25 gallons of water.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's for my mom. She's going to fly down, and we're going to pick her up. And
why
she's
does she
gonna join
need
us.
25 gallons of water? She wants to float across? What?
Well, I want her to have water from the States.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But tell me, what would be a typical repair that maybe I would have to do?
How old is this Vanagon?
It's an 87, but it's been rebuilt,
What's been rebuilt about it? The engine?
the engine. I have a German mechanic that I happened to meet before I bought this.
Can you bring him with you?
Right, maybe he would like the adventure of a lifetime, too.
Yeah, that would be the best thing to do. So it's an 87 Vanagon. It's got a rebuilt engine. Did you have it rebuilt?
No, the people that owned it before me, but he is the one that rebuilt it.
Okay.
So, he's checking it out right now again.
Yeah. And how long have you had it?
What's his name?
Hans.
His name is Ronnie.
Now, how long have you been driving the thing?
Just a few weeks.
Just a few weeks. Okay. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? I mean, if you broke down and the thing wasn't able to be fixed right then and there,
Jackals.
you would just... Are they bad? No, I mean, it would be even more of an adventure because that's what part of the adventure is.
Right, and I anticipate maybe that'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been somehow sucked into this theory that you go down to the airport, you get on the plane, and you end up at the place you're supposed to be at, and there's nothing that interferes. But if you stayed on the ground, a lot of things would interfere, and they would be what life was all about.
Right.
Instead of just getting from here to there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all for it. I think you should do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm struggling with how many things would I bring with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, I have no idea what it's like. I mean, is it desolate in the middle of the country there? Mexico City's in the middle of the country.
Well, I've been on driving trips there, right, but nothing this extensive. So I don't know. I've just been in bits and parts of jungle roads.
Does AAA do this?
I've spoken with AAA.
What did they say?
Well, the guy I had, he wasn't very knowledgeable about Mexico, so I need to find another person. But there is emergency road service in Mexico. I think they're called the Green Angels or something like that.
Green Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the Green Angels.
Don't forget to bring your badge.
What badge?
In case someone says, we don't need no stinking badges. You'll have your badge.
Didn't you see that movie?
What?
Here's what you're going to forget everything. Forget all the advice and all the questions. Go out and rent. Perhaps one of the greatest movies.
Okay.
Starring Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, really?
Walter Houston. And
people we don't know.
I'll give you $100 if you can tell me the name of the guy that said, we don't need no stinking badges. The name of the movie is The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Okay. Sounds good.
And it is guys who are doing exactly what you're doing. Sort of.
Kind of.
Yeah, that will tell you everything. It might be just the same now as it was then. How long a trip is this going to be, Suze?
Well, I anticipate about 10 days getting there, and then I have about 6 weeks altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make it, you guys. It's sort of a...
I know you're going to make it. You're
Yeah.
going to have a wonderful time. This is a brilliant idea.
Mhm.
When are you going to do this? When are you leaving?
Starting next week, a week from Friday.
You have to call us.
Can you call us from the road and we can do a little, every couple of days we can report on every
We'll
week?
do a little disaster log.
That would be great.
It would be fun, huh?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
that
you'll
would be great. You could keep us posted, and you could then write the definitive book on how to drive across Mexico.
Yeah, with your help. Or we'd make a tape.
Sure, and whatever problems you have, we'll solve them on the air.
Okay.
Won't that? And we can airmail you parts.
That's a dream come true. Okay.
Let's do it. I love it.
All right.
I wish you the very best. Say hello to Mom and Dad.
Okay, thanks.
And have a great time.
Okay, thanks.
Talk to you next week.
Rent the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Treasure of the
Sierra
Carlos
Madre.
Bedoya.
Adios.
Adios.
Bye.
That's the name of the guy.
Carlos Bedoya?
I believe.
We don't need no stinking badges.
That's the guy.
They don't make better lines than that.
Well, you've done it again. You've wasted another perfectly good hour listening to Car Talk. Our esteemed producer is Doug the Subway Fugitive, not a slave to fashion, Bongo Boy Berman. Our associate producers are David the Calves of Belleville Green and Catherine Frau Blucher Fenolosa. Our web lackey is Doug the Old Gray Mare, assisted by Connie Bridgeford. Our theme music is by David Dog Grisman. And our technical, spiritual, and menu advisor, just back from the Point Ray's, mayonnaise, honey glaze, Frito-Lays, and bouillabaisse dinner days, is John Bugsy Lawler. Our public opinion pollster is Paul Murky of Murky Research, assisted by statistician Margin of Error. Our customer care representative is Haywood Jabuzzoff. The Car Talk liaison to the British Isles is Isaiah, old chap. Our staff bodyguard is Liam Malone. Our director of long-range planning is Heinz Sight.
Oh, what happened to Que Sera?
Well, who knows? Our divorce attorney is Carmine Not Yours. Our director of genealogical research is Manny Cousins. Tommy's personal marriage coach is Liv to Regret It. The Car Talk used car salesperson is Sasha Deal. Our Russian chauffeur is Pekoff and Dropoff. And our seat cushion tester is Mike Easter. Our chief counsel from the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe is Hugh Lewis Dewey, known to the caroling pickpockets in Harvard Square as Huey Louie Dewey. Thanks so much for listening. We're Click and Clack, the Tappert Brothers, and Don't Drive Like My Brother.
Oh, one other thing.
Yes.
Don't drive like my brother.
We'll be back next week. Bye-bye. You can get a podcast of this show, which is number 1748. Subscribe to our weekly podcast and check out our guaranteed to be regifted clothing and best of collections all over at cartalk.com.
Also this week at cartalk.com, we tell you how to get in one more tax deduction before the end of the year.
You're not still trying to claim our producers as dependents, are you?
No. I write them off as gambling losses. I'm talking about donating a car.
Oh, yeah. You know, by donating your car to this station instead of trading it in, you can help support your favorite public radio programs, nail down a deduction for next April, and stop my brother from snooping around your driveway at night.
I was just looking.
To find out how to donate your car, check out the Car Talk Vehicle Donation Program.
You can always get there from our website, cartalk.com, and thanks. Car Talk is a production of Dewey, Cheatham and Howe and WBUR in Boston.
And even though nonverbal babies suddenly point to their radios and say, off, whenever they hear us say it, this is NPR.